Okay, hello everybody. I'm walking this new trail and part of it is around a parking lot, so I'm still trying to figure it out as I go along, so bear with me. So I just wanted to talk about, again, circumstances, moving beyond where you are and taking what is in front of you and breaking it down into manageable parts. So let's kind of dissect this. So we all in life, we all have problems, and these problems create challenges, and these challenges sometimes are uncomfortable and sometimes they're difficult. And so what we're trying to do is we are trying to move through the circumstances. And I apologize, but I have pants that I've lost some weight, so they just keep falling down, and I'm going to keep adjusting them because I don't have a belt. So it is what it is. So in life we have problems, and we need to break down those problems into manageable chunks. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to train our mind to see ahead. Okay. So you want to go to the end result of what you're trying to accomplish. So for example, if you have a goal of you have all these phone calls to make in regards to a particular problem that has occurred. So for example, let's say that you have an insurance claim, and this is something that I'm dealing with, so I'm just going to use this example. So you have an insurance claim, and within the insurance claim, there's a lot of stuff that I'm looking at here. It's crazy. So you have an insurance claim, and there's all these things that were damaged as a result of the insurance claim, okay? So let's say you make a quick list of all the things that were damaged, and in that, making the list of all the things that were damaged, you might put down clothing damage, furniture damage, so many pairs of shoes, kitchen appliances, computer hardware, media, cords, electronic cords, mattresses, etc. Okay, so you're making this list of all the things that were damaged, okay? And then in addition to that, you're making a list of all the things that you can still keep, the things that are salvaged. And maybe you separate them in different lists just to keep your head straight. And then you have a list of the things that you need to purchase as a result of the things that are damaged. And some of those things are going to be the same things, meaning you might want the same brand name, the same whatever that you had before. And other things you might just be like, the fact that I have to deal with this again, I want something new and different. I don't want the same thing that I had before. I want to try something different. So you're going to make a list of those things. It may involve research as well, doing research online to figure out what the original cost of the thing was. That means you might have to go back to your original receipts, whether that was on Amazon, whether that was on your credit card statement, whether that was physical, tangible receipts from a Home Depot or a different store that you went to. And so you've got to gather all those receipts. You've got to get all the details of your proof. You've got to be prepared in the sense that, number one, you've got to gather your data, and then you need to then make decisions in terms of what do you need to replace, what do you want to purchase going forward, what are those variables, how much are those things going to cost today. So for example, if you had something that you purchased 10 years ago, okay, that may mean that the price has changed in 10 years, obviously. So you're going to need to understand that some of these costs might be more expensive now, or maybe they're cheaper because there's the technology has advanced. So it really depends on what the issues are. So now you've gathered all your facts, you've gathered all your receipts, you've gathered all your data, and now you need to make decisions, okay? And when you're in the place of making decisions, you need to look ahead. And for example, you might have in the past purchased let's just say, a cheaper mattress because at that time you're at a different phase in your life. But now, you have different injuries. You want something that's maybe more expensive because it has different variables, such as maybe you want a cooling thing on your mattress, or maybe you want a firmer mattress that's going to help with your back injuries, what have you. So the point is, the cost of replacement of those items, you need to get the realistic numbers of what that's going to cost. So what I'm getting at is everything has a price tag to it, okay? And you've got to do your due diligence, you've got to do your research so that you can have the data and have that data to be accurate. So once you've gathered the data and then you have done your research, and then you're going to make decisions about what you want to do going forward. What ideally do you want to have to replace all the things that were damaged, whether that be a new mattress, a new sofa, new clothing, etc. Okay? And you've then gathered all your costs for what that is going to entail. And then you're going to submit all that information to your insurance claim. Now, in this particular example, I'm illustrating to you that there are many action steps that need to happen. But if you look at the whole thing and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this space, there's all these ruined things, you throw your hands up in the air and you're like, I can't do it, and you're in a state of overwhelm, you're not taking personal responsibility. You need to get out of your head, you need to get out of your feelings, get out of your emotions, and you need to get into action. You need to make lists, you need to constructively write down what action steps can you specifically do today. What phone calls do you need to make? What research do you need to make? What decisions do you need to make after you've made the phone calls, after you've gathered your data, and then you need to then stand in those decisions. So those decisions might mean that you are going to make choices in terms of you want to then purchase these particular items. It may mean that you're making decisions that you don't want to replace those particular items at all, and you want to go on a completely different route. Maybe you don't want a sofa, and maybe you want a lazy boy chair, as an example. It's just that depending on your situation, you're going to need to make these additional choices based on where you are in life right now and where you see yourself going in life in the next 5 years and the next 10 years, depending on how far out you're going, okay? So you need to not just make your decisions for today, but you need to make your decisions incorporating what you see happening in the future, okay? So all of those variables, you need to make a decision. I hope that helps with one example about making a decision and about looking at the fact that you do have problems, but you need to get into action to actually start handling the problems. If you're sitting there saying, woe is me, I don't like this situation, this circumstances, I'm gonna go call my girlfriend and complain about it. Complaining about it is not doing anything about the situation. It's not making anything in the situation change. You need to talk to the right people. You need to do your research. You need to gather the facts and the data, and then you need to make decisions about what you're going to do for how long of a period, and then you need to get into action and actually get into action and do those tasks. And that may seem overwhelming at first. You need to be organized. You need to have all your papers together, and then you need to then act on all of those tasks that you need to do in terms of calling people, following up, following those action plans, getting things completed. And then in the end, for example, let's say you did all that regarding your computer and media. That's just one portion of the things that were damaged in my flood. Then that means that you're now dealing with that one portion, and you now have a solid number for how much it's going to cost to replace all that media that was damaged in the flood. All right, I hope that helps. Have a good day.